But yeah, I honestly am so proud because this only was my second year of crocheting and I enjoy designing my own projects so much, and I honestly feel kind of powerful to know that the items I'm crocheting. Hi everyone and welcome to this new fun video. This is my yearly wrap-up of everything I crocheted and also a little bit of sewing. Everything I did this year and I'm very excited about it. I have been seeing so many everything I crocheted in 2024 videos already, so I feel like I'm a little bit late, but I hope I'm not too late. I didn't have that much time to make content during my holiday break, so I'm gonna film and edit this all on one day. Also, I feel like the lighting is very bad. I have multiple lights set up, but I don't know how to fix it. And I wanted something in the background, but you probably can't even see it. But I'm just gonna ignore it because I don't really have that much time to make this video. But I'm still very excited about it. I'm first gonna introduce myself because I feel like these type of videos often attract people that don't follow me already. So I'm Hippie Hooray. I mainly crochet, but I also do other crafts. I actually started out as an illustrator. And yeah, I post on YouTube weekly. 2025 will be my third year posting weekly on YouTube. So I'm very excited to have you here, and please subscribe if you want to stay updated. I do so many crochet projects, but also other creative projects and vlogs. And we're also renovating at the moment. So yeah, there's a lot of content coming up as always. I also quickly wanted to shout out my newsletter. I have a monthly newsletter where you can keep up to date if you don't want to miss anything. And starting February, I'll also have a Patreon or a Ko-Fi, so there are many plans I'm working on at the moment. I also made a 2024 crochet recap and I'll show it on screen. You can pause if you want to read it. I also posted it over on my Instagram and TikTok, but it's basically a big recap of everything I did when it comes to crocheting and my favorite yarn and how many hours I crocheted and stuff like that. I also made a vision board for 2025 already, and I'm working on a bingo card. And I'm actually very excited about 2025. 2024 was a very good year for me. I achieved so many things, but I do have specific goals for 2025. And I also have specific crafts I want to learn in 2025, but not too much because, to be honest, I don't have that much time left besides the crocheting I'm already doing. But there are a few crafts I want to either continue more in 2025 or learn completely. A few examples are I want to do more polymer clay stuff. I might want to look into making press-on nails because that seems so nice if you can make your own press-on nails. And then I might look into rug tufting. I will learn more sewing as well because this year I officially started sewing classes. So yeah, I am very excited about it. I'll show my vision board on the screen as well. And then the last thing I want to say before I start the video, a few days ago I actually made a few more YouTube assets for my videos and I'm very proud of them. So let me know in the comments if you like them as well, because I've put so much effort into designing them. So we're gonna start with all the items I made in 2024 that I didn't design myself, because it was like 50-50 with the items I designed myself and then the items I made according to someone else's pattern. But I'm gonna start with the ones that I didn't design myself, and I'm gonna take my phone and look at my Milanotes because I have a big list of all the items I made. I'm pretty sure I will forget about a few items I made last year, and also I was too lazy to get all the items because a lot of them aren't even at my house anymore. So I will just show pictures and videos that I found on my laptop and my phone. So you know, nothing too special, but I'm just gonna do some pop-ups. I have my list here, but you probably can't see it because it's so dark in here. But the first thing I made that I didn't design myself is this gingham top. And I will link all the patterns if I can find them back online. I will link them in the not the comment section, the description. So I made this top and I love it so much. I did a few adjustments to it, but yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. I just love how it looks. And I honestly wish I came up with the pattern myself, but obviously I'm not gonna copy anyone else's their designs. So yeah, a very cute top. The next thing I made was a unicorn for my godchild, and my mom actually gave me the crochet kit because, to be honest, I don't really like the design of the unicorn, but she gave me the kit so that I could make it for my grandchild. Not my grandchild, oh my god, my godchild. And I gave it to her, and after 5 minutes one of the limbs already got detached. So yeah, I made that unicorn for her, but it didn't survive very long, and that's also why I don't really make plushies anymore for my nieces or cousins, because they just fall apart immediately if I make them. The next thing I made was this cake for my 1K subs. So I designed this cake with the help of some YouTube tutorials. By the way, most of the items I'm showing in this video I also showed in previous videos. I didn't really crochet anything that I didn't show in a video or have made a dedicated video about, just to make it clear that you can look up the video if you're interested in one of these items. So yeah, I made this pie, and then I also made a real life pie, but it looked a little bit ugly. Next I made this fuchsia set with a vest and a skirt, and I don't have too many pictures of this, to be honest, or videos, but I do really like it. I have worn it a few times last year, and maybe the color is a little bit too bright to my liking, but I really like the design. It took me a very long time to make this set because it is very intricate, but it was very fun to make, and I love the cable design. I honestly didn't even know you could do cables with crochet, so that's why I bought that pattern, because I wanted to learn how to do cables with crochet. Next, a vest I made for my mom. She just requested me to make something for her, and I made this for her. Not really my style, but it's definitely my mom, her style, so yeah. I made 2 of these tops. They worked up very quickly, I would say maybe 6 to 7 hours, and I love how they look. I wore this top on a festival, and then I made a second top because I still had some yarn left, and I made it for a friend, and she looked very, very good in it. So yeah, I would also recommend, if you want to make a top very quickly, this is a very nice pattern. And my butterfly top that I followed through, I think, a YouTube tutorial. It was a little bit complicated, but I really like the result. I think it's really cute. I actually forgot I had this because I haven't worn it for a very, very long time, but I usually wear it as a layer on top of another top, like I'm doing with this corset. I also hand sewn myself, but that was the year before. So yeah, I actually forgot I had that butterfly top. I need to look for it because I don't know where it is. Next I made a sweater vest for one of my aunts, but I don't have a picture of the finished product, so all I can show you is this picture, but it was just a simple granny square sweater vest. I made this super cute bunny plushie that I made with a book that I bought on my internship, which is now my job, and I really love how it looks. Then I made a pumpkin design. I don't know, I think I just looked it up online, the pattern, and a star blanket. I just did the viral 6-day star blanket trend, and I really love how it turned out. The next thing I made that wasn't designed by myself was this scarf for my friend because she had dyed my hair. It has been a while now, as you can tell my hair is very washed out, but I made her a scarf to thank her, and she really, really liked it, and this was also a very fun project. The next item is sewn, and I made it as a first project in my sewing class, and it's this bag that I made also with a custom fabric I designed myself and then got it printed. So I really like this bag, but I gave it to a friend because I don't really wear orange, but I do really like how it turned out, and it was my first sewing class project. Next, I made a few more plushie designs also for a YouTube video, so I'll just show this picture of all the different plushies I made. It also includes a Sylvanian Families plushie, which I really like, and I would love to make more alterations of this plushie in the future, maybe, if I find the energy, because I absolutely hate crocheting plushies. And then the last thing I made this year that I didn't design myself are these pants, and this was the second item I made in my sewing class. It actually isn't finished yet. I still need to finish the bottom of the pants, but I do really like how it turned out. And also it's made with a fabric I designed myself and got printed, which I really love. And it's actually a pajama pants, but maybe during summer or spring I will wear it casually, because I do think it would be fun to wear my own design, my own drawings on pants. Although I know they look like pajama pants, but I do still think it would be fun. And I also am never embarrassed when I go outside, so honestly I don't really care as much. Now we are gonna talk about all the items I crocheted last year. So technically it's last year, but it's only the 3rd of January when recording this, so don't be confused when I say last year. So the first item I crocheted, I actually finished it because I started it at the end of 2023, and it's this 4-piece set. It took me so long to make because it has a top, it has shorts, it has a little vest and skirt. So this is what it looks like. I honestly never wore it. I even tried to sell the vest and the skirt, but it didn't get sold. I also made the sleeves of the vest shorter just because they were so long. But yeah, I'm not sure if I am gonna sell this in the future or if I'm gonna keep it. But yeah, I have worn the top and the shorts during summer, but not as much. Then the next item I made are these socks, and I feel like this was my biggest fail because I did it with single crochets because I wanted to do color work, and I honestly should have just knitted it. But I'm not very good at knitting color work because my tension is always off, so I wanted to do crochet. And maybe I don't know, maybe I could have done Tunisian crochet, but the fact that it's crochet made it so stiff and not stretchy, so I have never worn these socks. But you know, I still enjoyed totally designing them. I totally made the design based on my foot measurements and stuff like that. So I am still happy about it, but you can barely see the design just because it's crochet, and it's also very, very stiff. Next item I made was a little upcycle. So I bought the sweater as a base at the thrift store, and then I added all like these patches, these crocheted patches. Then I also did duplicate stitching, I think is a term. I made a little collar, I added some frillies and stuff like that. I really like this sweater, but it's maybe a little bit messy, but I have worn it quite a few times already. Next is this little vest I crocheted very quickly. I don't really wear it as much. I also tried to sell it on the market, but nothing got sold, so I still have it, but I don't really wear it. Next, I wanted to write my first pattern officially, so I made this set for myself, and then I made a pattern for the sweater vest. And while writing the pattern, I also made a vest for my boyfriend, and then I also made one for my cat, but like this pattern never got published just because it took such a long time. So I decided to just not get into making patterns. I did have a few pattern testers though, and yeah, I just never published the pattern because now up until now I have done free patterns on my newsletter, but they aren't really patterns, they are more instructions, and nobody tested it. It's like a vague idea of how I designed and crocheted the piece, but not in-depth patterns. I don't think I could ever write in-depth patterns just because I have done it once and I really didn't like it. I don't really like typing out stuff and being behind the computer, working behind the computer. So yeah, but I did make a whole set for me and then my boyfriend and our cat. Next I wanted to work with some scrap yarn, so I made this very cute fairy dress. Again, I have never worn it, but it was very fun for the video. So yeah, I do really like this. I also really like scrap yarn projects. I will need to do more of them in the future because I have so much yarn and not enough to make whole projects, you guys. Next, a quick mention because I did an upcycles video. So I upcycled a dress into a skirt, and I wear this skirt so much. I think it's my most worn skirt. Then I also made a little, how do you call it? I'm just gonna call it a vest thingy because I don't know what the correct word is, out of tablecloths. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, then I also embroidered a blouse. And I honestly don't wear the blouse or the vest thingy I showed before this. I honestly don't know what to do with it. The little vest thingy is fun when you're going to the beach, for example, to wear it over your bikini or something like that. But yeah, I only really wear the skirt. I wear that skirt so much though, but it was a very easy upcycle. Next, I crocheted this green butterfly vest. This was my second attempt at wanting to write a pattern because I already have made this sweater the year before. So I made this sweater vest. Did I say sweater? I mean sweater vest. I made this sweater vest with the idea of writing a pattern for it, but then it never happened because I knew I didn't want to get too much into the whole computer work and the whole calculating and writing and pattern grading, size grading, I don't know how to call it. So yeah, I made this the second version of the skirt, but then never did anything with the pattern I was writing for it, but I do like this green version as well. Next, I decided to sew a corset or a bustier, I guess, in one day by hand. It was terrible. I think it took me 12 hours that day, but I really like how it turned out. I have worn it a few times, but not too many times to be honest, because also it's orange and I don't really wear orange. But yeah, it was a very fun project, and if you look close you can see that the stitching is very bad. This corset that I'm wearing I also stitched by hand or sewn by hand, and it is so professional looking. I don't know how I did it, but then the corset, I am pointing to my room where the corset is, but this corset is so much more messy. Maybe also because I wanted to do it in one day, but it's actually horrible, the details of this corset. Then the next was also a very fun project. I made this Queen of Hearts inspired dress, and I was so proud that I designed this from scratch. I was so happy with it. I have 3 videos of this series on my channel, and then I also made a cosplay version, so I made my own wings and added some more details to the cosplay. It was so much fun. I wore that cosplay once and then never wore it again, obviously, but I do want to wear the dress when it's spring or summer this year, so yeah, I'm very happy I made it. And I was also thinking, like, yeah, I was considering to make this into a pattern, but again, I don't know how to write patterns. I'm not good at it. I don't like doing it. So maybe one day, if I have my Patreon or Ko-fi, I could share roughly how I designed it. I think I do still have some notes on my computer if I can find it back. I do every month want to share at least one quote-unquote pattern, but it's more instructions, how I designed it, how I made it to fit my measurements, and then how I crocheted. It's like very vague, but that is the only way I would like to write patterns, if you know what I mean. So please don't shoot me if you want an in-depth pattern, because that's never gonna happen, but I am willing to in the future maybe write rough instructions, if you know what I mean. So it's not really beginner friendly, but it's the most I can do, you guys. Then the next thing, I think this was my worst performing video maybe of the whole year, but I had this band merch of one of the bands my boyfriend is in, and it was just a t-shirt with the logo on the front, and then I upcycled it with some granny square patches. I made it into a dress, and then I also did some textile painting on the back, and I honestly think it looks so cute. I have worn it a few times during summer. Yeah, I really like how it turned out, but it performed very badly on YouTube. The next project that I designed myself, these are so many projects. I am getting so tired of talking so much in this video, so let me know in the comments if you're still enjoying this video, because I am feeling exhausted and I'm not looking forward to editing this video, but it won't be too complicated to edit, so it's fine. But the next project is this C project. So I first started with this top, and then I made a net as the skirt, and I attached it onto the top, and then I also made this little pufferfish bag The pufferfish bag wasn't designed by me. I did look it up online, or I did buy a pattern for it. So not designed by me, but the rest is designed by me. And yeah, I really love this. I wore this to an aquarium once and then obviously never wore it again, but it is a very fun piece. I did really enjoy making this. The next project I made must have been it is my best performing video on YouTube. It was this romper I designed. I completely made it to measure, but I also worked with graphs. And then I also made this matching hexagon sweater. This was my first project I made instructions for my newsletter. So I completely explained how I designed the romper, how I made the graphs and made it to measure, and then how I crocheted. So it was a very long email I've sent that month, because this romper is probably one of the most intricate designs I've done, just because I was also working with graphs, so it wasn't exactly made to measure. But yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It was a very difficult project, and I honestly don't know if anyone who got my newsletter understood the instructions. I honestly don't know. Next, I made these Halloween berets for me and my cat. Nothing too special. It was fun. It was a fun little video on YouTube. I didn't wear it. Oh my god, I am talking too much in this video, you guys. I haven't worn this beret out. I only wore it for videos, I think. And obviously Mona also didn't wear her beret anymore. We're almost at the end, you guys. So the next item is my Whimsy God. I wanted it to be Whimsy God at least, but I honestly don't think it looks Whimsy God at all. My scarf, my bonnet and my gloves. And I really love how this turned out. It is one of my favorite items I designed, I think. And I obviously wear it a lot because it is very functional. But yeah, I learned Tunisian crochet for this project. And you guys, if you want to do color work, you have to do Tunisian crochet, because nothing looks better than Tunisian crochet color work. I am not going back to normal crochet if I'm gonna do color work. It is a little bit more difficult because it needs to all fit on one hook. But I think you have ways of making your hook longer with like the little attachment thingy, I think. But yeah, I am obsessed with how Tunisian crochet color work looks. And yeah, I really enjoy this set. I also have a video about it, obviously, like all of my other outfits that I made and showed. The next project was another scrap sweater, and yeah, I really like how this one turned out. I do wear it quite often. Yeah, it's probably one of my most worn out clothing items out of everything I've showed you. And then I also made a very simple cat beanie. I have been crocheting for 2 years now, and it has been my first time crocheting a cat beanie, surprisingly. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I do really enjoy it. Next is my over the garden wall tapestry, again with Tunisian crochet. It looks so good. Yeah, this is what it looks like. I still need to provide a white page behind my tapestry because Evert and many other people told me the brown background is kind of ugly, but this is what it looks like for now. Okay, only 2 more items to go. So the second to last item I made is this Hungry Caterpillar sweater, which I really like. It's one of my favorite things I made again this year, and I probably will wear it quite often also in the upcoming months. And yeah, I am gonna explain how I made this in my January newsletter, which I will send out in 1 or 2 weeks, kind of. So it could be that you're too late for that specific newsletter, but if I have a Ko-fi or Patreon page, I will offer those instructions on there as well, so you're not too late. And then the last item I made is this very flowy skirt. This is actually a spoiler because I'm gonna show the vlog on how I made this in next week's vlog if you're viewing this, so the upcoming vlog. But yeah, it's already a spoiler and I love it so much. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because obviously you just have to watch the video in a week. And yeah, that's everything I made in 2024. I can't believe, I think I made over 40 items. I feel exhausted, but I probably just feel exhausted from recording this video and not really from crocheting. But yeah, I honestly am so proud because this only was my second year of crocheting and I enjoy designing my own projects so much, and I honestly feel kind of powerful to know that the items I'm crocheting are actually kind of worth a lot of money because the materials costs very much. The time I put into it is unbelievable, and then the design itself is very unique as well. At least that's what I hope it is. I hope it's very unique and fun, and it's always exactly what I envisioned and want. So I honestly feel very powerful knowing that I don't need to pay for designer clothing because I can just make my own designer clothing, and that's just very empowering to me. I feel very proud of everything I've achieved so far, and in 2025 I want to design a lot more items. I'm mostly focused on clothing, as you can probably tell. But yeah, this is your sign if you're not crocheting already, or it could be knitting or sewing or honestly just any creative hobby. You should just go for it because then you can make exactly what you want. And I am obviously privileged because I have the time to crochet for often more than 50 hours, not 50, oh my god, more than 15 hours a week. So I am very privileged, but even if it would take you a whole year to crochet only one item, you still have that one item that you wanted specifically. So I feel like that's very powerful, and yeah, I don't have that many things to be proud of in my life. That sounds so sad. That's actually not true. I do have a lot of things to be proud about, but you know, I am very happy that I learned crocheting, I learned how to design, and there is still so much room for improvement. But you often hear people that are very sad about aging up and becoming older, but my mindset is that if I'm gonna be older, then I will be so much wiser and will have so much more skills as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me, if I'm thinking of myself as like a 60-year-old, I'm like, I'm gonna have so many skills. At least that's what I hope. I hope to have more time in the future to evolve and maybe also learn new hobbies, and I'm looking forward to sharing that all with you guys in 2025 and obviously the years to come, because I have not thought about quitting YouTube even once, you guys. I am a very dramatic person, I'm very emotional, and I have thought about quitting everything in my life, but not YouTube, okay? And also not crocheting and doing my artist stuff, because it is one of the biggest things that makes me happy. So, okay, I'm gonna stop ranting now, and I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what your favorite item was that I showed, and I'll see you in next week's vlog. Have a good day or night. Bye bye!